Okay, right now it's 10:29 a.m. in the morning on July 16th. Um, yeah, and yeah, I slept really late and woke up really late. I slept from 2:30 a.m. ish to 10:10 a.m., but I did wake up like once at 7 something, and then once at 8 something, once at 9 something, I believe. I don't know. But at last, I slept for a little bit less than 8 hours, but I woke up really late and slept really late. Which sucks. So yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time last night watching half of a film. Um, yeah, I actually last night, at the very, very, very tail end of last night, I had like a revolutionary epiphany moment. I think I was taking a shower. I went to the bathroom and I took a shower, and I was doing, because like my belly is really bloated and fat right now, and I was kind of like self-conscious about it, which, I mean, I've been self-conscious in my own body since the dawn of time, you know. Since 2018, I've been going downstairs and jogging and running. But now I have a new problem, and that is belly fat. So I googled, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why do I have belly fat? And as it turns out, and not surprising at all, it has a lot to do with diet, you know, again, lack of exercises, diet, sleep, like lack of sleep, stress. And as I'm reading through the list, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Oh my god. For the last 3.5 years of me staying in LA, I've been doing all of that. Just checking box after box. I wake up, and especially last year, I feel like I wake up and I just eat cookies, pies, tarts. I eat sweet, pre-made, processed stuff from Ralph's. I drink a lot of soda. I eat a lot of ice cream and jelly and other desserts after dinner. In fact, last year, over round 5, I've been having this habit of eating at least one kind of dessert every night. And then, of course, that added onto the fact that I didn't sleep a lot. Last year, I've been constantly sleep deprived. Like round 5, round 4, I've been constantly sleep deprived. And I didn't exercise enough. Yes, round 5, I did go to the gym a little bit more, but it wasn't consistent. It was nothing, you know? So all that added together, and now I'm experiencing belly fat. And it took me so long. It took me until 2025 July to figure out that, holy shit, I should stop doing it. Because for the first 2 years, I believe 2022, 2023 of my life in the US, in LA, you know, my goal has always been, you know, just to gain weight. So I eat more food. Point blank, period. And I feel like I kind of achieved that already. Like, I think at around 2023, I was already consistently like 130 something pounds. That is no longer an issue because I cook a lot, I cook consistently, I eat a lot of food. And now, the problem isn't gaining weight. I mean, I'm still pretty skinny. Again, people see my arms and people see my torso and they're like, wow, you're still skinny. But they don't see my belly. The thing is, I'm actually gaining a lot of fat. It's just that they're all going to my belly. And now the real problem is, A, I'm eating too unhealthily. I'm eating and sleeping and exercising unhealthily, which is causing belly fat. B is, instead of losing weight right now, I need to just simply focus on gaining muscle, right? That means a high protein and high fiber diet. So last night I just had this huge, like, and it's so fucking, I feel fucking stupid. Like, during the year of Leslie in 2023, I was like, I'm gonna be physically healthy. But I didn't really live up to that, did I? I'm gonna be physically healthy, and then I still barely slept, and I still ate very shitty foods, and damn, no, god damn. And you know, I'm entering my last year of college. Unless I do grad school, but that's a different thing. I last semester, before the semester started in January, I was like, I'm in my prime right now. I feel like I'm in my prime. But I'm not in my prime. I'm still skinny. My belly's still fat. I'm still not at my most charismatic or beautiful or interesting or talented. I'm not in my prime, actually. And I should be in my prime. I'm about to turn 23. Mid-20s, man. So I really, next semester, hell, starting now, self-improvement. That's all that matters, really. So, again, in the future, I'm gonna try to. The reason why I eat cookies and pies and tarts was A, they look appetizing. B, I like eating sweet stuff in the morning, but it's a very bad habit. It should have been peanut butter on toast. That's fine. Eggs and toast and bacon, that's also fine. And once in a while, dumplings for breakfast. Actually, I should start doing that instead of thinking dumplings for lunch. No, dumpling for breakfast, yes. And there will be times where I don't have time to eat breakfast. And in those cases, I don't know, cookies are fine, but gotta think of some alternatives. And instead of desserts, I should start eating more fruits. And instead of drinking soda, I should just drink water. Or if I want to drink something like tea or juice, would still be better than soda. I'm drinking too much soda. Yeah, I need to eat more fruits. And I don't know, something more heavier in protein. I think cereal is fine too. Yogurt would be a nice alternative as a dessert. Just not ice cream. I ate a whole fucking box of ice cream. Like at some point last semester, it's just one box of ice cream after another. Like I see that I'm running out of ice cream and I'm like, well, I gotta get more ice cream. And again, like I look like this, I'm skinny. But then I'm eating so much junk food, where are they going? They're going to my belly. So hopefully right now it's not irreversible. Hopefully right now it's only like, you know, a little bit, so it's easily reversible. And on top of that, sleep. And I realize this too, a lot of times on campus, I look like shit, not only because of my physique, but simply because of the lack of sleep. My eyes are a little closed, I'm acting tired, but you know, I can't do that anymore, man. I can't do that. So I gotta start sleeping early, which means there are two things I should really cut down. Making YouTube videos and watching films. And making YouTube videos should be the first thing that goes away. And again, I've said this like for years already. I'm cutting down on YouTube, but I'm so used to filming YouTube videos and spending time editing. It's just, but I should really live up to that. You know, I should really live up to that. I'm cutting down on YouTube. If I have to, I'm cutting down on films, because I could spend all that time to do something more useful, like going to the gym, drawing, reading. Right? Drawing and reading especially. Like, there's so much more for me to learn. There's so many more books for me to read. There's so many more things I could do in order to be... there's so much more knowledge for me to acquire. There's so many more skills for me to acquire. Right? I could look so much better. Like, I am nowhere near my prime. Not even close. So, yeah. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, I really need to drastically replan my life in the next year. And also, if I start, you know, dating, that is an if, that's not when, that's if. If that actually happens, I can't live this lifestyle anymore as well. Like, if I keep doing YouTube and I get more popular, it's like, ugh. First of all, it's a little cringe. Second of all, again, I gotta delegate time out for that as well. So I don't know. I just feel like next year I'm gonna completely reform my lifestyle. A total top-down revolution. I need to grow stronger, and it's crazy. I feel like, and it shouldn't be a comparison thing, right? But I feel like my brother and my cousin, they're probably already doing these things, like exercising constantly and having better sleep than me, and because of that, they're actually in a better shape than me. And it is only now, before I turn 23, when I'm like, fuck, I gotta start doing this shit. I gotta start consciously living well, because I'm such a bad liver. I'm bad at living, you know? But yeah, so hopefully starting from now in Hong Kong, I cut down on the midnight desserts and the sodas, sleep more, jog more, and yeah, that's all I could do, I guess, for now. The other thing I'm gonna report is Hong Kong UK Film Festival has rejected me. Honestly, I'm like numb towards rejection at this point, so I don't really care. But it just really sucks to see The World Is Not Enough. After I made it, I was like, this is it. This film is gonna put me on the map. And it's not really putting me on the map, because festivals keep rejecting me left and right. And the only thing that accepted The World Is Not Enough so far is Cannes Fest, which is nothing. So no budge rejecting me pissed me off a little bit, because Matt's film got into it, and I thought my film was pretty much on par with his film, even though we're both working two different genres. And then now another Hong Kong Film Festival rejecting me, which sucks, because I want my film. I'd rather an American festival to reject me than a Hong Kong festival to reject me. I want Hong Kongers to see my film. I want Hong Kong film people to see my film. So, I should send my film to Hong. But yeah, it just kind of sucks. So I don't know. I'm gonna write back to them. I'm gonna send them an email saying, "Do you guys have any feedback, or like, can you reconsider, like stuff like that." All I need to hear is some feedback, not that, ooh, we received a lot of applicants this year and it's a really difficult choice. Like, no, I don't want to hear that pre-made bullshit. I'm just gonna email them and ask them for feedback. So that's that. Or reconsider. Yeah. With that festival gone, I don't think there would be any other big Hong Kong festivals that would accept a film like this. Is it a budget reason? Is it because it's too confusing? Like, I don't know. Because like I saw film from Yang Yiqi and half of them are shit. Not to be braggadocious, but my film is better than half of Yang Yiqi's films. Yeah. And then aside from that, tonight, 5 p.m., I gotta head out to do a rehearsal filming with my mom, and it's gonna go very late, so after I get home, I'm probably just gonna take a shower and go to bed ASAP. And that's it for today. Also, I'm added to an Instagram group chat with Maisie and Jing, and I believe a few others, and it's like a PD group chat thing, so that's cool. Except I don't think Christian R nor Tristan use it, so we'll see. Testicles. So time now is 12:05 after midnight. I'm really tired and I'm probably gonna go to sleep real soon. Yeah, today has been a pretty mundane day, I would say. I didn't do much. I don't know why, but first of all, the canker sore under my tongue, is really getting to me. Um, yeah, this is definitely worse than the canker sore on the lip, because my tongue actually needs to move, so this is fucked. Oh, god damn it. Also, I feel kind of uncomfortable. Not that I feel sick, but it's just that the mouse pad is rough, and then because my blue luggage is right next to me, I literally just did this like, goddamn, I literally just did this like 10 minutes ago. I bumped my elbow against the blue luggage. Oh my god. And this happened to me somewhere between 6 to 10 times already. Yeah, and then I also just feel really weird. I don't know why I feel not good. A little tired. A little itching here and there. Yeah. But anyways, I left the apartment at around 4:15, and then I went downstairs. I brought my camera and my hard drive. I brought my camera, and then that was when I realized, oh shit, because I need to film a rehearsal for my mom's company's concert, which takes place 4 days later on December, or 3 days later on July 19th, but the rehearsal is tonight. And oh my god, my tongue. Yeah, the rehearsal's tonight, and I was asked to film some of it, and I brought my camera, and I realized that Hong Kong runs on PAL and not NTSC, which means that I need to format my SD card, because I have to do that for some reason. Because I already did that last summer when I filmed at that exact location for the exact same reason. But the catch last summer was that it wasn't my SD card, it was the company's SD card, so I didn't have to format my own SD card. But so I DM'd the colleague and asked him, oh god, I DM'd the colleague asking him like if there are extra SD cards, and he's like, no. And I said, well, I haven't formatted my SD card. But the thing is, I think usually people who do videography and photography, they like format their SD cards constantly. But I don't really do that. I like keeping stuff on my card. So I kind of don't want to do that, but I know it's not like a noble thing. It's for selfish reasons, you know? The colleague was like, oh, do you have a hard disk? And I'm like, yes. So I brought 2 hard disks and also a cable. And so I literally went downstairs with my diagonal bag and my camera bag, and I entered the MTR. I haven't entered the gate. I basically walked all the way back home, grabbed these stuff, and then went all the way back down again, and that was a hassle. And then I went all the way to Meifu, and then turns out I don't even need to use my camera. I don't even need to format my SD card. I didn't even get to use my hard drives. So I didn't really do any of that. So yippee-ki-yay. The filming was fine. Oh, before I filmed stuff, I also had sort of an early dinner at 5:30 p.m. with my mom. Pretty nice place. Had some toast, some chicken thigh. God fucking damn, I'm so tired. I'm hurting and I feel tired and I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I feel like I should be doing something about the HKOS thing, and I feel like I should also be doing something about some other thing that I'm not doing. And I don't know what it is. I think it's also dinner with Miss Solomon. I talked to Natalie last night. I don't know if I I forgot if I had mentioned this last night or not, but blah 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 blah. Penis. I don't know what's happening to me right now. Like, I'm like lagging. Like my mind and my body is like, I just cannot function right now. I don't know why. I had a nice sleep. I don't know what's going on with me. About a year ago, Jordana ran into Natalie in an elevator in Hong Kong University. Jordana saw Natalie and did a 180. AKA turn away. So I was talking to Natalie last night about how I wanted to just invite the whole world to Miss Solomon's dinner. And I wanted to invite Jordana, but Natalie's like, no, it's gonna be awkward. But Natalie's like, sure, you can ask, and I'm like, fine. So I literally just DM Jordana on Instagram. So hopefully she responds. I don't know, it's kind of scary. I want to invite Mary, but like I haven't spoken to her since I don't know, October or November 2020, which is like what, 4.5 years ago. Earlier, I came up with a cool idea, and that is, why don't I ask Oliver? If I ask Oliver, there's a chance that Oliver would have just asked Mary, and Oliver is a bit easier to approach, I feel like. I don't know why. So I'm gonna actually try to DM Oliver, like now, actually, or tomorrow. But I feel like tomorrow is too late of a notice. I don't know, but it's really crazy. I don't know how many people among the original 1C/2Cers really think about seeing Solomon, because we all kind of hated her. But I don't know, man. It's been years. Might as well, meet up. So yeah, that's it. I'm still super excited for Giant to come to Hong Kong. And I also don't want to celebrate early. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be disappointing, because life is always disappointing. Giant's going to say something like, oh, actually, my parents changed their minds. We're not coming to Hong Kong. So, like, I shouldn't be that excited until Jiayun confirms it. But god damn, man, where should I bring her? And also I need to get in shape, So yeah, I'm just gonna watch one episode of Squid Game. I'm gonna draw, and then that's it for tonight. And then tomorrow I need to wake up early for breakfast tea with my grandparents. Oh, my paternal grandpa called me today. Well, my only grandpa. Just telling me, oh, let's yum cha sometimes, and even though we're literally gonna do it tomorrow morning, so that's that. Yeah, I want to go jogging tomorrow, but I don't want to do it in the afternoon. I want to do it in like later at night. So, oh god damn, my hair. Okay, time is 8:12 a.m. on July 17th. Yeah, had an okay sleep. Slept from 1:30-ish, 1:35 to 7:55. Woke up by the alarm. Yeah, I don't know why. Last night at 1 a.m., starting from 1 a.m., I had like red eyes. I was so tired. My mind was not clear. It was clearly not in a clear space, and my eyes were red, and I was just like dying, basically. But I did draw a little bit. I didn't watch any TV shows. I plan to watch like a film, like half a film and some episodes of TV, but I ended up not doing that. I only did some drawing, but I'm going to try to do more of that today because I think I have a little bit more time today. But yeah, I also DM'd Oliver from back in the secondary school days at like 1:30 a.m., like right before bed. I just DM'd him. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna DM him and tell him about Miss Solomon dinner. It's a either you do it or you never do it kind of situation, right? There was a point where I kind of wanted to DM him, and then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because I'm just like causing trouble. So I like closed my Instagram, and then a little later after shower, I was like, you know what, maybe I should do it. So yeah, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I hope more people are showing up that I do not know of. That I was not prepared for. You know, I really like surprises. It's kind of like Leia's graduation photo shoot last year, where a bunch of random people show up and I'm like, holy shit! I kind of want to make that happen again. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm waking up early because I need to have breakfast / lunch. Yum cha with my grandparents, so there's that, and we have to do it hella early, and then there's Nam cha, so I'm waking up even earlier so that I could film a movie review, but that's mostly it. So yeah, I don't have much else to report, and yeah. Okay, time now is 12:38 after midnight. Yeah, I don't have much to report. I'm feeling kind of tired again. There's like a infection, I think, some kind of acne here. Yeah, this morning felt terrible. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I felt like a little headache, and my canker sore is getting worse. So I'm having difficulty talking, actually. Early in the morning, me, my brother, my dad, we went over to Wong Tai Sin. And we went over to a yum cha restaurant, and we were early, and then soon my grandpa, and then a while later my grandma showed up, and we all had sort of a breakfast / lunch, and oh my god, there were a lot of food. There was a lot of food. My dad ordered so much food. It's crazy. But it was alright. I had a good time eating, because it's been a while since I've had this much food during Yum Cha, so that was great. And I got to talk with my grandparents a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And then I went home, took a shower, didn't do much. At 7:30-ish, I went out again to jog. I think from now on I would like to go jogging once every 3 days, except for when I'm not here, of course. When I travel in Beijing and Kyoto, I won't be going jogging, which means I actually don't have that much time to jog anyways. Apparently, I've been here for 7 days already. I didn't know that. I thought it's been 5 days, but it's actually been 7 days already, and time is just kind of flowing by. I don't know why, but I get the feeling that my stay in Hong Kong is very temporary. Yeah, it is kind of temporary. I have 2 weeks here, and then 1 week in Beijing, and then I have 10 more days here, and then 1 week in Kyoto, and then I have like 4 more days here. So it's not a lot. But yeah, this is completely different from the last summer, which is mostly comprised of nothing, very uneventful. I spent most of the time last summer not doing anything, but this time around it's much more eventful, which is, good and bad. But yeah, and then after jogging, came home, took a shower, again, my second shower of the day. I'm gonna take another shower later tonight, right before bed, because I'm just that hardcore. I don't usually take 3 showers a day. In fact, that's crazy, but I kind of have to. But it's not the first time, so yeah. I guess a couple more things is, one, for the first time since 2023, I believe, I spoke with Oliver. Because I DM Oliver late last night at 1 a.m. asking him if he's free on Friday night to meet with Miss Solomon, and unfortunately he said no, which made things kind of awkward, because if he said yes, then it's great. If he said no, then it's like I randomly DM'd a random person out of nowhere and have nothing to follow that up with. So it's kind of awkward that he said no. But I mean, it's out of my control. But yeah, he said he's not free, and I'm like, okay, rip. And then he proceeded to ask me, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I have 1 year before I graduate, blah, 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 blah. And I asked him, how about you? And he's like, oh, I graduated last January, and now I've been working. By last January, he probably means like half a year ago. But yeah, so he's working now. Everyone's in the workforce now. It's so crazy how far we've gone. Like, we finished secondary school, we went through the whole college, the whole university thing, and then people are in the workforce now, people are working now. And then I can't wait until everyone around me starts getting married and having children. Or maybe not, because people don't want to have kids these days, but you get the idea. So yeah, that's that. It was a nice little catch up, but I don't know. I hope I get to see him sometime in the next life. Just once for the rest of my life. That would be cool. If not, that's okay. If I never see him again, that's okay. That's to be expected. So there's that. Pretty depressing, but that's how it goes. Now, let's talk about Jayun a little bit. Out of nowhere. Again, every 2 or 3 days, I'm like, I haven't spoken to Jayun. I kind of want to talk to her. But then it's like, I feel like I and Jayun aren't close enough where I could just randomly send her a meme and then we'll have a conversation. Even though the conversations we've had so far are pretty solid. I don't know. It still feels like we're not that close. But anyways, Jayun randomly DM'd me while I was actually in the bathroom. Jayun randomly DM'd me, who's your colorist? And I didn't really respond to her immediately, and then about 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, never mind, I found him. And then we had a very short conversation. I was like, oh, so how is editing Rush? Are you finding a colorist? And she's like, yeah, I have a colorist, but I don't like his work, so Jayang may color it for me. And she sent me a YouTube video of a colorist coloring reel, and I took a screenshot in the video and I sent it to her, and I was like critiquing the coloring. And in that screenshot, I guess I was a bit careless, and it showed some suggested videos on my YouTube page, and one of the videos is like a VTuber. Maybe that threw her off a little bit, but honestly, I'm just being a little bit too specific. Eventually, she'll find out that I like anime and VTubers, so who cares? But yeah, the conversation is really short because I asked Jayun a bunch of things like how's editing Rush, blah blah blah, but she talked quite a bit, but it also feels like she isn't really in the mood for talking all that much. So the conversation was really short, and at times it feels like I'm pushing it and she's not really speaking much. But she did mention that she crashed out last night Um, because she was freaking out last night because she thought that his film was not good enough. And then she sent me a screenshot of another random guy texting her a whole essay on how Jaehyun is doing so well and you're the most impressive person I've ever met. And so a guy sent this text to her, to encourage her and to comfort her. And now she took a screenshot of that and sent that to me. So I'm reading this essay about how awesome Jaehyun is. And how, oh, you're already really impressive, the fact that you made the film. And honestly, I totally get that. Like, you know, I can't even finish a script. I mean, you already finished the film. You're already better than me. like, don't worry about it. Separate your film and the editing. Again, it's like, I like that I'm kind of close to Jaehyun now in terms of like having conversations, and there's still a mega chance that I'll be seeing her in Hong Kong, and I am excited for that. But sometimes I can't help but think, like, this happens to literally every guy that Jaehyun talks to. Like, Jaehyun just likes to get close to literally every guy. So I don't know, you know, I don't really know. But I was trying to be honest with Jaehyun. I was like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, just edit for your own enjoyment. Don't edit your film to live up to some kind of standard. I guess that's the most honest answer I could give. Because the thing is, I would be stressed as fuck too if I had just filmed a $10,000 worth of short film and I am the sole editor of it. And also his film is like 8 terabytes. I was like, oh, have you edited it? And he's like, I can't, I'm in Shanghai. And I'm like, oh, you have to edit it when you're in LA? Okay, well, I guess. Because I edit on my laptop. You know, I can just bring my film anywhere to edit. And he's like, no, it's 8 terabytes. She's a big girl now. She has, her film is big, you know, in terms of storage space. So, the film is 8 terabytes. And, you know, well, honestly, if I was her, I would be stressed out too. If I had made a film that, you know, that cost $10K and so many people are on it, like, I'd be stressed. Like, I would think, oh man, all that money, it better be worth it. So I kind of get it, but I also kind of don't, because I've never done that, because obviously she's kind of beyond my scope of experience at this point. But I've edited all of my short films, so that's what I could tell her. But the thing is, yeah, most of my short films are like very low budget guerrilla shit. So when I edit them, it's not like I wouldn't be that stressed out. When I film them, I'm always stressed out. So I told Jaehyun how I'm stressed. I always thought about giving up, and especially Love and Death. And then Jaehyun was like, "Oh, well, I've never thought about giving up. I just feel that I'm not good enough." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm scared that I'm investing a little too much on Jaehyun right now, because she's probably the only person there is that I'd be willing to get close to. And I'm scared that this is only going to end up being the most mega disappointing thing ever. But I'm gonna try my best. Again, I feel like I've come to a point in my age where I actually try not to overthink anything. So when if Jaehyun ghosts me, it's probably because she's busy. If Jaehyun says one thing, or I accidentally say something bad, I don't want to overthink it, because the world is so chaotic and unpredictable that there is no point for me to overthink anything, because whatever the truth may be, it's always out of my expectations. So why even bother? So that's the principle that I'm always going with these days. So yeah, anyways, that's that. Tomorrow I get to sleep. And I am also going to be meeting Miss Solomon for dinner. So yeah, I asked Jordana. Jordana's not seeing my message. Who cares? Oliver's not free, so I don't know who else is going to show up tomorrow. Tom, Nick, Bernice, Keith, and Natalie, and me, and Miss Solomon probably. Hopefully some other people show up. I love surprises. If not, that's okay, because this is already surprising enough. The fact that I'm seeing fucking Keith. I don't know, my image of Keith is still stuck in, like 20, when's the last time I've seen him? I mean, probably 2019, but really my image of Keith is like 2017, 2018. Like, I've never heard him in a deep voice, or I mean, I kind of have, but I don't know, I just don't, it's like kind of fucked. And then Bernice is there. For some reason, I'm like way more comfortable that Bernice is there, even though I haven't had a real conversation with Bernice in like how many, like 8 years or something. Like I don't know. I feel like, yeah. So it's gonna be weird. Natalie, like I should feel uncomfortable in front of Natalie, but now that Keith is there, Keith is the one that's making me the most uncomfortable. Unless Mary shows up. But I feel like I and Mary would have a nice conversation. I feel like Natalie's chill again now. I mean, Natalie's chill now. And I can have a decent conversation with her now, again. Even though I kind of can't a few years back. And I don't know who else is going to show up. I really genuinely don't know who else is going to show up. But I wish that eventually a 1C, 2C reunion thing would happen. I told Oliver, I was like, hey, maybe a 1C, 2C reunion will happen eventually. And he was like, yeah, next time. I highly doubt it's ever going to happen because it's like prehistoric. It's Jurassic Age, but, if Mary, Jordana, Natalie, Bernice, Keith, Jeffrey, Linda, Cedric, fucking Cedric, if all of us are in the same room together again, it's gonna be so interesting. I hate to be like, ooh, but come on, you gotta be a little ooh, You gotta be a little ooh. So, yeah. But yeah, I jogged and I feel a little fitter right now. But maybe that's placebo. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Okay, time now is 11:16 a.m. on July 18th. I had a big fat sleep. I slept from 1:35 a.m. all the way to 10:50. That is absolutely crazy. I don't know, why do I need that much sleep? Maybe it's a combination of I don't know, me feeling a little sick, like travel sickness, and also the fact that I jogged last night. But yeah, I slept quite well, which is great, and I lost a lot of hours. So today, at 3 p.m. I have a Zoom meeting, but the main dish of today is actually tonight at 7 p.m. I am meeting a bunch of people for the first time in a long time. I'll be seeing Natalie for the first time since December 2023. I'll be seeing Bernice for the first time since summer of 2023. I believe I ran into her during summer. Yeah, I think that was... And Keith for the first time since 2019, I believe. And also Nick for the first time since last week. And Tom too for the first time since last week. And hopefully some random people will show up as well. But it's going to be a very interesting dinner. Yeah, Jordana also finally replied to me. And unfortunately, Jordana's not in Hong Kong. Of course, she's somewhere in China. This time, she's in Shanghai, where Jiayun is at right now. So yeah, not too surprised, but I do wish that one day we would organize this 1C2C reunion thing. I do wish that that day would come eventually. I have yet to see Natalie, Jordana, Mary, Oliver, Keith, Jeffrey, and literally everyone else in the same room. That would be bonkers. Anne, I want to see Anne. Tom said he saw Anne, and they hung out together for a day, which is really interesting. And I was like, "Is Anne still a small girl?" And Tom was like, "Oh no, she's bigger now." And I'm like, "Oh." So I'm curious to see what Anne looks like, especially because Anne doesn't post photos of herself at all. And it's been how long since I've seen her? I forgot, but it's been a while. Yeah. And then beyond that, not much else. I had a very morbid dream. I had a very morbid dream where my maternal grandma was dying, and both me and my brother were writing letters for her to read, I guess on her deathbed, and I was crying in the dream, but somehow that became Christian R, and it was Christian R who was dying, and then, but it's a funeral, but he's still alive, but he's about to die in like a couple hours. So I decided to take him on a walk and like try to give him comfort. Like I showed him different places, and we were in the countryside in some beautiful grassy hilly place with colorful flowers and like a waterfall maybe. Like it was kind of weird. It was kind of heavenly. But yeah, there's that. It was a very intense dream. I woke up and I'm like, thank God it was just a dream. Yeah. And then I don't really have a lot else to talk about. There's a humongous Wi-Fi issue yesterday. I can't watch any films. I can't play any movies. I can't play any YouTube videos. I can play YouTube videos, but you know, difficultly. Because the Wi-Fi is so shit. But I kind of figured out. I don't know. Hopefully it still works today. So I didn't watch All We Imagine Is Like yesterday. I'm gonna watch it like later. So that's that. And that's it. That's it. Okay, time now is 1:47 a.m. in the morning. It's really late now, and I actually have to go to bed as soon as possible because, oh my god, my tongue. Fuck. It's crazy, like when I'm talking to people, I forgot my pain, but when I'm talking to myself like this, it hurts like a bitch. But anyways, I need to wake up at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so I kind of need to go to bed like as soon as possible. Holy fuck, my tongue, hold on. Jesus Christ, my tongue. Okay, I gotta go to bed. So I'm just gonna talk about today a little bit. What a fucking weird day. And I mean that in the best way possible. Today is surreal, and I think it's pretty much on par with the last day of summer last year. It was a bit of a reunion of sorts for a lot of 1C people. So I guess at 5:30-ish, I left my apartment. I left this place and I went over to Causeway Bay to Hyson Place to look for Natalie. And I wasn't particularly nervous about it, actually, even though it's been a year and a half since I've seen her, but I wasn't particularly nervous because for some reason when I and Natalie talked on WhatsApp, I was like, where are you? I told her, I asked Jordana and Oliver. It felt like a natural conversation. It didn't feel awkward at all. I feel like both me and Natalie have changed so much that suddenly it's like talking to a stranger again, but in a comforting way. Like a stranger that I used to know, but not know anymore, It's a very weird full circle moment where it's like, I don't know her so much so that now it's okay again. Like there's some kind of distance between us. And like, because of that distance, I feel like I don't feel that awkward or not. I wouldn't say awkward. I wouldn't feel that nervous about it anymore. Jesus, my hair, this perfect heart shape. So I arrived at Hyson Place. I was gonna meet her at 5:30, but I ended up meeting her at like 6, which is, I'm late as fuck. And I was on the 4th floor of Hyson Place, and she's on the 5th floor. So I was at the ground floor, and she's at like the 6th floor at the Asleep bookstore. And then floor by floor, I go up. I go to the 1st floor, and then she goes down to the 5th floor. And I go to the 2nd floor, and go to the 3rd floor. And then on the 3rd floor, she was on the 5th floor, and I was gonna tell her I'm gonna stop here and you can come down, but I'm like, I don't know, so I decided to go up. And she's like, should you come down or should I come down or should you go up? And I was like, okay, I'm at 4th floor now. I'm just gonna stop here. So she goes from the 5th floor to the 4th floor, and I stood beside the escalator that's going down, and I just watched people's legs sort of coming down the escalator. And I saw a pair of legs, and it was kind of like just a regular woman's legs. And then the escalator continues, and there's a guy behind her, and I'm thinking, okay, that's not Natalie. And then another pair of legs show up, and it's like fatter. And I'm like, oh, that's Natalie. And then it comes down, and it reveals her full body, and then her face. And for a moment, I was looking at her through this hole, and she hasn't noticed me first. I noticed her first, and I was looking at her through this hole, and she's on an escalator. And for a moment, I was like, oh, I like gasped for a moment. I was shocked for a moment because she's gained even more weight. Like 2 years ago when I saw her, she gained a lot of weight, so much so that it's beginning to be difficult to recognize her. She's gained even more weight now. And I was like, oh my god, And I don't mean it as like, ooh, she looks bad, like nothing like that. It's just a statement. She gained weight. And she's okay. Like, it's so crazy to me how much Jordana and Natalie have looked so different now. It's kind of horrifying to me. I mean, to be fair, I look different too. But she's like a different person at this point. She's completed her transition. She's just a regular person. I'd say that maybe 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago, she still has that like crazy, like you talk to her and you still feel that she's a little crazy. She's a little like something's off. But at this point today, when I talk to her, she's just a regular person. And she's a little dumb too, like doing math or like directions. She's like, oh, I'm bad at directions. And she gets confused and she laughs at things. She's just like a normal person now. And yeah, it feels immature to see someone like her to be abnormal. But again, like, just from my perspective, it's so crazy how people just change. But anyways, we just walked around Heisen Place and we talked. And surprisingly, it went very well. We just talked, and it was like I was talking to an old friend. Maybe it's because she is an old friend, but it's just, oh man, I don't know. The talk went well, and it went smoothly. We joked around. She was like, so how have you been doing? How are you doing? And at that moment, I genuinely don't know how to answer. I haven't seen her in 1 year and 8 months. She looks like this now. And the last time I talked to her, I haven't even gotten into USC. Like, that's how crazy, that's how long ago that was. Even though it didn't feel that long ago in Hong Kong, but it felt that really long. If you remember that I went to USC and experienced all that shit. It's so, like, I just laughed, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I just don't know how to answer. It was such an overwhelming moment. It was such a surreal moment that I was like, I don't know. But yeah, we just talked, and we made jokes, and she's doing fine, working, you know. Like, I don't know, like, her life is probably more interesting than that. My life is more interesting than whatever I've revealed today, but neither of us can say that much about our own lives because our lives are irrelevant to each other already, you know? But she's been working, no, or she's going to start work. She's gonna graduate, like, next Monday, and or next, like, in a few days, and she has actual work. She's interned at 2 places, at HKMA and at HSBC. She's doing financial technology. She told me how she's majoring in financial technology or fintech because of Tom. Because Tom told her it's a good major. And I was like, what? I thought you were a young, independent, like, strong, independent woman. Like, why would you just go for a major because of some guy? It doesn't seem like she's the brightest person ever. But, like, she used to be interesting and weird and crazy. But yeah, and her hair just gets longer and longer every time I see her. Yeah. So, yeah. She also told me she watched my old YouTube videos. Like, she watched my reacting to my DSE scores videos from 2020, which is, like, embarrassing. And I was like, why are you watching my old videos? But yeah. We just talked. Apparently she saw Anne, and apparently Anne hung out with Jordana and Hans a while back, and Anne was like, oh, Jordana's weird, and not weird, but, like, Anne is bitching about Jordana. And then, yeah, here and there. Apparently Natalie saw Keith a while back as well. Like, Keith bought everyone boba. Like, a bunch of things happened in regards to old, secondary school era people, but I'm just out of it. I'm just, like, I'm completely out of this world already. So yeah, we made it to Wan Chai, and we arrived at the restaurant even earlier than Miss Solomon. And we got us seats, and we just sat down, and we sat next to each other. And then Miss Solomon soon showed up. And then after that, Bernice and Keith, they randomly showed up. And I was quite scared because it looks like Bernice and Keith had been friends every day. They talk to each other a lot, they joke around with each other a lot, they, like, and I'm like, oh, so they're, like, a thing? And by a thing, I don't mean, like, thing. I mean, like, a friendship thing. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But turns out they just met each other, like, today. But they did run into each other, like, a year ago. And then apparently a few days ago, Bernice's mom also saw me and then told Bernice, which is crazy. How does Bernice's mom even remember how I look? Like, that's, especially with this hair now. I don't look like this a while ago. Um, but yeah, it was so surreal seeing Bernice and Keith together, and then I'm just sitting next to Natalie, and suddenly the fact that I'm sitting next to Natalie is like the most normal thing in that situation, you know? Which is saying a lot because for a good while I was still like, ooh, I don't really want to talk to Natalie but like in this situation, me sitting next to Natalie and talking and being like the closest to her is like the most normal part of the whole situation. So Keith, Bernice still looks like Bernice but older. She's in heavy makeup. She looks like she's been worked. You know, she looks like she's been through some stuff. And Keith, he's so similar to how he was and so dissimilar at the same time. He still has the same face and the same sense of humor. Surprisingly, her personality seems like it didn't change. But he also looks really different to the point where I feel like if I had walked past him in the MTR or something, I probably wouldn't even recognize. He looks like some like singer now. He looks like a singer. I just cannot imagine like baby Keith or like young Keith growing old because he always has that baby face. So now he just looks like a different person, kind of. He has funky hair, tons of tattoos all over his arms, wearing a nice sleek black button-up shirt. And for the most part, I didn't really talk to Keith, but I definitely looked at him a lot. And Natalie looked at me a lot. Natalie's like to my left, and Natalie keeps looking at Bernice and Keith because I'm just I'm just thinking like what the fuck is going on. And then soon Tom and then Nick showed up. And when Nick got in, Nick was like confused, like where's everyone? And then I had to stand up for Nick to see me. But yeah, I don't know how much I've changed and how different I am, but I tried to be like, I think I used to be a very awkward person, and it used to be very nonsensical. I like to think that I've changed in a way where I've become like stronger emotionally and more intelligent and more aggressive. So I tried to like, Miss Solomon's to my right, and I tried to like help her clean the bowls and the dishes. And I poured the water into the big plastic bowl, or like it's not plastic, I don't know. And Miss Solomon's like, hey, you don't do that. You pour it here first. And I'm like, that's weird because literally yesterday I had brunch with my grandparents and we all do it with the bowl. So I guess different people, different methods. And the dinner overall today was less about talking to Miss Solomon, more of just like us talking to each other, and just reminiscing over 1C and 2C era, and also maybe a little bit like Form 3 to 6, but mostly 1C and 2C. And we're just like talking really loud and having a lot of fun. Like I was really composed, but after Nick arrives, I was way more like joking around and laughing I had a very good time, honestly. It was very surreal, but I had fun. And apparently both Tom and Nick also DM'd me asking me where I was, like which table are you in? Like I don't know, it feels nice to be included in events like this, but it also felt very like wrong and cursed. But the most interesting thing is I think Keith remembers so much. Keith remembers everyone's Chinese names, like every single student in 1C and 2C, their Chinese names and their class numbers and like very specific details of specific events that even I don't remember. And I think I remember everything. I thought I was the historian, but turns out Keith remembers more than me. But I also remember stuff that Keith doesn't. And then Keith has like a bunch of photos and videos on his phone of like things that happened in 1C and 2C. And I have them on Google Drive, even though I don't check them constantly, but I have them somewhere in there. And Bernice and Natalie, they were both really shocked that I keep these things. And Bernice and Natalie, I don't know how much they see each other, but it seems like they don't. But Bernice is really, like, nice. Like, Bernice is really, like, even though I think Bernice and Natalie haven't really seen each other a lot, Bernice was, like, looking at Natalie and laughing with her and, like, joking with her. And we talked a lot about drama. Like, we talked a lot about how, oh, Bernice and Natalie used to have a lot of arguments, and Bernice was like, oh yeah, Natalie, you did this to me, and we argued, and I was telling you this, and that happened, and we all, like, laugh about it now. And then I would chime in occasionally. I would be like, oh yeah, Bernice, you stole my diary, remember? And Bernice like, yeah, that happened. The conspiracies, the detective. And I'm like, yeah. It's so crazy. We're just, like, talking about it now. And then Max showed up out of nowhere. I haven't seen the guy in years. He just showed up out of nowhere behind Miss Solomon while Miss Solomon's talking to me. And it was like, oh my god, he's behind you. And then Max was like, doesn't even care that Miss Solomon's right next to him. And he would swear and he would talk about very gross, specific things that we would never tell the teachers back then. But, you know, we're adults now. Yeah. So it was Max and Tom and then Keith anti-clockwise, and then Bernice and then Nick and then Natalie and then me. And yeah, we're all just talking and laughing. I was hoping that more people would show up, but unfortunately not. And we all ended up paying for the meal, and Miss Solomon didn't pay for it, because if Miss Solomon did, it would have been like $1,200 or something. So yeah, it ended up being $175 per person, which is not bad. It's like 22 US bucks, which, you know what, makes sense, you know. But yeah, we all, it was just so surreal, really, and we just kept going and talking and talking and talking. We even brought up, like, very specific people that I barely even remember. I don't even remember some of these people. And then they start bringing up teachers, and honestly, I forgot half of them already. And that's bad. That's bad for my storytelling. If I have to, you know, when I have to tell the story of my secondary school life and I have to bring back these characters, I'm just like, oh my god. But yeah, everyone's doing IT now. Keith is doing barista, like, he's doing wine, like, alcohol mixing, and Keith is like, yeah, Keith is still the same, though. Like, Keith is still very confrontational in a playful way, in a way where you're like, I don't know if I should laugh or if I should, like, fight back. Like, and that's bad. That's, like, sociopathic. Yeah, like Keith keeps making, and when Nick arrived, Nick was like, I'm surprised that Nick didn't feel really out of the group. Like, Bernice and Natalie would talk to Nick and stuff. Even though Nick usually is, like, the outcast, along with me. But Keith keeps trying to make fun of Nick. Like, Nick, somebody mentioned marriage, and Nick was laughing, and then Keith was like, oh, Nick, are you gonna get married? And Keith keeps making that joke, and Nick is, like, getting embarrassed. And then we started talking about drama, and Nick was like, wow, I'm clearly completely left out in all of these. I don't know any of these things happened, but I know. I know, but Nick was like, wow, I don't know any of these. And then Keith was like, oh, it's okay, like, you're innocent. Like me, I'm innocent too. And it's just, yeah. Keith is still crazy. But, and then Keith paid, but we all, like, pay-me'd Keith at the end. But yeah, I was talking about how, you know, I wish Jordana would be here. It would be so unhinged. Because, yeah, because, I don't know, I just wish Jordana would be here. Because Jordana apparently has no friends now. And Natalie took a bunch of screenshots of, like, Jordana being in ads because she worked at a property like estate management firm, and there were ads like stock photos, and Jordana would be in there, and it would look really weird. And apparently Jordana had no friends in college, like in uni, and only Chinese friends, which is funny because I also have a lot of Chinese friends, but I'm doing way better in USC right now. I feel like, even though sometimes in USC I'm like, oh, I can't make friends, everyone hates me, but like I'm already doing like 29 times better. And it's so crazy how Jordana used to be this powerful thing, and you know, I'm probably even more powerful than she is right now. But yeah, it's just so surreal. I just wish more people could join, you know. I wish more people could join. Today was just like, I wish we took a photo together or something. It was so insane. Keith went up to, like, Keith has a video of, I don't even remember his name, like his code name, but there's this, I'm just gonna call her, she used to be fat, I don't know how she looks like now, but this girl, her name is Hillary, and everyone used to make fun of her and bully her, and I feel bad for her. And there was a video where this other guy, this boy, guy, he's a guy now, but he used to be a boy, what the hell is his name? He's gay, and he's one of the few gay people in the forum, which is great. He's in the drama club. He's a nice boy. Like, I haven't seen him in a while. He was pulling the chair, and Hillary's on that chair, and it's a video of just that. And I swear to God, I've seen this before, but I don't have it. And Keith showed it to me, and I was like, oh, send me that. So Keith added my phone number so that he could send me that video over WhatsApp. Yeah, so much of that stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it's so surreal. There's just too much to process. And then the meal is over, Miss Solomon kind of walked away, and then me, Natalie, Bernice, Tom, and Nick, we all walked on the streets. And then I'm just thinking, like, Bernice, Natalie, and I are walking on the street together in 2025. What is going on? Like, this is so... And I'm wearing a polo shirt with a diagonal bag, I have glasses, and I'm just walking. And I'm tall now. And I'm like, whoa, this is so fucking crazy. So yeah, Natalie had to take an MTR to Yalmate to meet her boyfriend. And Tom and Nick went to find a bus. And then I and Bernice, we got onto the MTR together, and we talked a little bit more. And there was a Gyro Zeppeli cosplayer there. And I was like, oh, I should talk to her. But yeah, I and Bernice, we just talked, and she's doing teaching, like she's in education or university, and she's planning to be a kindergarten teacher, and she's planning to teach English in primary school, and we just talk, and it's so crazy. Like, aside from like reminiscing over old times, we also talk about jobs and internships, and that's like most of what we talk about now. It's just like salary and jobs, and apparently Bernice like broke her leg last year. Like, a lot of random things happen, and at this point I'm not even sure if it matters at all anymore. It's so, again, like me saying, ooh, it's crazy, it's like immature, because nothing is crazy. We were kids and we're all just chill, but then not really, you know. I do have to admit, you know, 1C and 2C meant a lot to me, and I feel like it meant way more to Keith. And yeah, It's just I do have to acknowledge. I don't know how. I feel like I've crossed the threshold. There is, oh, Natalie's such an interesting, weird, like fucked up, like perverted, psycho, like psycho demon girl. And then from 2020 and onwards, she becomes like she's normalized and she has a stable relationship. She's nicer now. She doesn't like to kill people now. She's not suicidal now. And then as it moves along, I'm like, okay, is she still interesting? Yeah, I think she's still an interesting weird person. She's just, chiller now. But then after a certain point, you kind of have to flip to the other side where you're like, Natalie's been normal the whole time, and she's only quote unquote crazy because she was a weird kid. But, really the mature thing to say and the mature thing to think is that Natalie's just a regular person, she's just a regular girl, and, we're all just trying to make a living and find a job. And I feel like I kind of crossed that threshold where, oh, well, we're all chill the whole time. But especially when we're talking about drama, we literally talked about how Natalie used to be crazy. Like, when we were having dinner, we talked about how Natalie's, like, she likes chasing around boys with, like, knives. Or, like, stationery as knives. But, like, we just laugh about it because it's so funny. Because it's not scary anymore. So, yeah, it's so crazy. I just think that I just really hope that I could bring, or we could bring everyone back together as much as possible. Like Oliver, Mary, Jeffrey, Linda, Jordana, Cedric, everyone. So yeah, and the gyro cosplayer in the MTR. I was like debating whether I should talk to this person. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it. So before I left, I was like, Mo Yisi, like, excuse me, are you gyro? And she looked up and she smiled and she's like, yeah, it was awkward. And I'm like, good, like, hobutai, like, I enjoyed it. And then I left. But I'm glad I did that. I feel like it's such an LA thing, like, talking to strangers, such an American thing. Yeah, but yeah, that was so surreal. That was so surreal. And, for a moment I was like, man, I wish this could never end. I wish we could last longer. I wish this dinner conversation would last longer. Because it's so interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go to bed now. Tomorrow is going to be a long day.